So say hello if you are on today for the next episode of the Rural Rapport. We are going to be talking about solar energy today and the rise of the solar energy industry. We are also going to be looking at policies that contribute to the clean energy economy. This is my first ever Facebook Live, and so I am just checking things out, making sure it's all running well today. So as we go along here, just say hello, maybe where you're listening in from. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. My colleague will be sharing resources as I talk about them. So you can see those resources up close, save them to read for later. We'll try to post links to any sort of programs that we talk about also in the comments. So you have all of those resources at your fingertips. So my name is Heidi Kolbeck-Urlacher, and I am a policy assistant for the Center for Rural Affairs. I primarily work on clean energy issues, so I'm very excited to be here talking to you about solar energy today. If you're not familiar with the Center for Rural Affairs, it was established in 1973 in Northeast Nebraska. Our main office is located in Lyons, Nebraska, and we also have an office in Iowa and several remote staff in states like Minnesota and South Dakota. I am coming to you live today from Brandon, South Dakota. I work primarily on policy issues related to South Dakota. So I'll be talking a little bit about that today, but also just about some general facts about solar. So the mission of the Center for Rural Affairs is to establish strong rural communities, social and economic justice, environmental stewardship, and genuine opportunity for all while engaging people in the decisions that affect their quality of lives and the future of their communities. We're all about creating vibrant rural communities. So today I'm looking outside and the weather is a little bit cloudy here in Brandon. I don't know what it's like where you're at. But I want to talk a little bit about a little bit of a bright spot in the world, a little bit of sunshine here in the spring, and that is, again, the rise of the solar energy industry. So right now, solar energy is more common than ever. The industry is seeing steady growth all across the nation, and in rural America, there's considerable potential for residential, community, and utility scale projects. So to talk a little bit about this issue, the center has created fact sheets about the current status of the solar industry in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. There's actually a lot going on in Minnesota too. We just haven't gotten to those fact sheets yet. So we're going to discuss some opportunities for growth in those states, the current status of what solar looks like there, and also policies that help contribute to that renewable energy economy. Again, feel free to ask questions during the presentation by commenting. I might not get to them to the end, but if you want to get your question out, just pop it there, and we'll also try to fill it in by the end. So the first thing I want to talk about are some state fact sheets that we have available on our website. And so we have some state solar fact sheets about South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa that are all located at the cfra.org/clean-energy. So again, that'll be in the comment box for you to find. So in talking a little bit about solar energy in those states, again, the industry is really seeing a lot of growth. It grew by at least 15% between 2018 and 2019, and that growth jumped from 2019 to 2020 up over 23% in all three of those states. And part of the reason for this is just affordability. It's really just that key driver of solar energy growth nationwide. So the cost to install solar energy has decreased by more than 70% just in the last 10 years. So significant cost reduction in solar energy has just really exploded that industry all around the nation. So just in the last 5 years in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, prices for solar installations have fallen by over 35%. So because of that significant growth, it's estimated that there's a new solar project installed in the US about every 100 seconds. And that's installed solar capacity in the US is forecasted to more than double in the next 5 years. So the new technology in solar energy and the efficient technologies have really made solar a good investment for home and business owners, but the lower cost of solar is also grabbing the attention of utilities as well. So in my home state of South Dakota, unfortunately, we currently lag behind neighboring states in terms of solar development. We rank 50th in all U.S. states and territories in terms of solar power production and receive 0.02% of our electricity from solar. So that's something that we hope we will see changing in the future, and there is some bright spots on the horizon with large-scale solar energy. Just in February of this year, the South Dakota Public Utilities Commission issued its first ever permit for utility scale solar energy. So the Lookout Solar Park, which is going to be located on the Pine Ridge Reservation, was approved to be built, and it looks like that will be projected to be online in 2021, and that will be capable of generating 110 megawatts of energy. And in addition, another 128 megawatt facility was just recently announced in February as well, and that is the Wild Springs Solar Project, which is planned to be built near New Underwood, South Dakota, which is on the western side of the state near Rapid City. So just these two solar energy projects have the potential to increase South Dakota's installed solar capacity from less than 2 megawatts current, to more than 200 megawatts over the next 2 years. So really exciting stuff coming online for South Dakota. And there's a lot of solar development in Nebraska, Iowa, in Minnesota as well. Definitely something worth looking into. So if you are interested in installing solar on your home or business, you definitely want to research the policies that are in place in your area. A great place to do this is at the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency. And the acronym for that is DESIRE, D-S-I-R-E. And you can find that website link in the comments. By going to the DESIRE website, you can search your state and find out what incentives are available to you. So this does not only apply to solar installations, but really to anything related to renewable energy and energy efficiency, including rebates for energy efficient appliances, loans to make energy improvements to your home or business, tax credits, and other things. And it's also listed by just even specific policies that might be in place with your utility. It's really a fantastic resource, a great place to find out what's available for you and make getting those renewable energy installations easier for you and more available. And it's just a great time to look into that, especially with the cost falling so far just in the last couple of years. Another program you'll want to look at, especially if you live in a rural area, is the Rural Energy for America program, and the acronym for that is REAP. The REAP program is operated by the USDA, and it provides grants and loans to rural businesses, egg producers, and farmers. To be eligible to apply for those grants and loans through the REAP program, you need to live in a community with a population base of less than 50,000 people. So the deadline for the REAP program just passed in April, but it is a program that's available year to year. So if you're maybe thinking of making some improvements this next year, check it out. See if you would qualify, if there's some projects you have in mind that would make a difference in your business, your home, your farm. Check that out. So those REAP funds, they need to be used for installation of renewable energy systems or to make energy efficiency improvements. So you can find all of those details again at the USDA website. It has all of the guidelines for applying for the program, or you can call your state's USDA office and visit with one of the staff people by phone Good time to start planning, again, if you're looking at doing something in the next year. In South Dakota last year, 13 businesses received REAP funding awards, and the funds that were awarded totaled over $480,000. So very significant awards, and those funds went to energy efficiency projects such as updating heating and cooling systems, upgrading lighting, installing solar energy systems, maybe doing upgrades to grain dryers, and even, putting in new insulation. So many very cost-effective things that can be done through that program. Another policy you will want to check out and see if it is in place is net metering. So net metering allows people who own renewable energy systems, that distributed generation system, to place the excess energy generated by their system back onto the electrical grid in exchange for a credit from their local utility. And so net metering policy is enacted very widely across the United States. It's actually in place in all but 3 states. Again, sad news for South Dakota. We are one of the few states that does not have statewide net metering. Definitely something we are hoping to work on and see change in the future, but it is in effect in Nebraska and Iowa and Minnesota. And each state's net metering program looks a little bit different. So you will want to look into the specifics of what net metering looks like in your area. Another policy to check out would be to see if your state has a PACE program. PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy. We actually have a fact sheet all about commercial property assessed clean energy, CPACE, on our website, and we'll put that in our comment box. PACE programs are a financing option that allows property owners to finance the upfront costs of energy improvements on a property and then pay those costs back over time through a voluntary assessment. And that financing is tied to the property and not to the person. So it goes, it stays with that property when we passed on if ownership was transferred. So PACE is also widely adopted around the nation. There's 37 states with PACE programs, including Nebraska and Minnesota. Unfortunately, again, something to work on here. South Dakota does not have a PACE program, and neither do our friends in Iowa. So some other interesting topics to chat a little bit about regarding solar energy would be community solar. And community solar is a really neat option for people who maybe don't have the ability to purchase their own solar energy system. And so what it refers to is to local solar facilities being shared by community subscribers. So multiple community subscribers subscribe to this solar energy array or system that's in operation, and they receive a credit on their electricity bills for their share of the power produced by that energy system. And so this is a model that is being rapidly adopted nationwide. We are seeing a lot more community solar development. So it's something really neat to keep an eye on, and a great way for solar energy to be more accessible to all people. So according to the Solar Energy Industries Association, there are currently 40 states with community solar projects. And interestingly enough, our neighbors here in Minnesota have the most community solar in the nation. One other topic I want to bring to your attention is the option of combining native vegetation and pollinator habitat with solar energy systems. And so we also have a great fact sheet that our office in Iowa put out about native solar projects and native vegetation, and we have that, again, we'll link that in the comments. So although many solar installations, they can go up on roofs, they don't need major land allocations. When you're looking at large solar arrays, many times they might occupy several acres of land. And as solar development grows over time, it's projected that solar arrays will cover 30 million acres by 2030. So with that kind of development, this really offers an opportunity for project owners to demonstrate a commitment to environmental stewardship By combining those solar array developments with habitat for wildlife and pollinators. And these provide some ancillary benefits such as improved solar health, water quality, and also sequestering carbon. So check out that native vegetation and solar fact sheet. There's some great resources in there about different plants that are great for those types of projects, how to put them in, how they're managed over time. You might also want to check out the Center for Pollinators and Energy, which has tons of information about this topic. This is an organization housed within Fresh Energy in Minnesota, and it's just a great resource for learning about combining that pollinator, native vegetation with solar projects. One other resource I want to bring to your attention before we wrap up here today is a webinar that the Center for Rural Affairs is offering on May 22nd at 1:30 p.m. It's called Solar Rules, and we'll be talking a little bit about best practices for county solar ordinances. So as solar development grows, you want to check out what are the rules around putting up solar in your area. And maybe your area is just starting to think about this themselves. What kind of rules should we make? So we have this webinar, and it will cover the key components of strong county level ordinances with examples primarily from Iowa, but also around the Midwest. During this webinar, the center will also outline best practices for incorporating native vegetation and pollinator habitats, like I just mentioned, and so that'll be in there as well. If you're in Iowa, you might want to check out the Iowa Solar Siting Guide, which the center just published this spring. There'll also be a link for that in the comments. It's a very comprehensive, well-done guide, I think. I'm very proud of my colleagues for putting it together. And yeah, check it out if you have a chance and you're interested in this for your community. So in closing, I just want to say thank you for chatting with me today about solar and renewable energy policies that contribute to that clean energy economy. Please feel free to reach out to our team if you are looking for assistance or resources in this area. We also work on many other topics and have many, many resources that are available at our website, which is cfra.org. We're also active on Facebook, as you can see, Twitter, and we are continuously sharing resources and that we develop and promoting events that we're hosting. So right now, I'm just going to scroll through, see if there's any questions here before we wrap up. Just scrolling through. Thanks for the nice comments, Tashi. Good to see you on the video today. Well, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Heidi Kolbeck-Urlacher, Policy Assistant here at the Center for Rural Affairs. You can find my contact information on our website. If you want to visit a little bit more about that, or if you've taken some time to look through some of these resources and you want to chat more, I'm happy to talk with you about them. Well, all right, I will log off for now. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Rural Report. We do these every week on Tuesday at noon. So we will post about our next topic soon, and you can join us then. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.